And just what a lovely evening it's been. A lovely, whatever time it is with you, where you are. So many things to connect with. I took a rough look at what I thought were the number of countries on this call. I may have missed some out, but so far, you tell me if I've missed anyone. I've got Argentina, Bulgaria, Colombia, I've got Sri Lanka, Kenya, Brazil, UK, USA, Portugal, Italy, and Ukraine. I don't know if we got any more.
Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, how can I miss Georgia? Georgia and the Caucasus. Wonderful. That makes about 13. Interesting. So what I thought we'd do to start with is just find an instrument. You might need to get up and find one. When I say an instrument, it could be anything you need to rattle or shake or blow into, or you could just use your hands or sing, or if you've got cutlery, if you've got spoons or knives and forks, you can rattle them together. You know, we don't care. Anything that makes a sound. So if you haven't got that, just maybe take a moment to find something. I can see Max is tuning up his instrument over there. And then something else that we talked about, Karen and I, about it would be helpful for some of you, if you can, to go to your audio settings on your computer. Now, if this really freaks you out or throws you, don't worry about it. Just tune me out. But if you know how to do this, if you go to the audio settings on your computer, on mine, it's next to the mute button at the bottom of the screen. The mute button is where I can see the volume when I'm speaking going up and down. It's kind of colored green. There's a little arrow next to that. And if you can click on that arrow and go into settings, where it says microphone, you can just untick the box that says automatically adjust volume. Now, like I say, if this all sounds like double Dutch or something crazy, just don't worry about it. Forget it. The reason that we are thinking of this is that it helps sound travel longer so that we will hear your sounds for longer and clearer. If you are able to do this, you'll find a little box under that says audio profile. And if you tick low background noise, these are weird words, I know, low background noise suppression, you should be able to make your instrument sound louder and longer. And lastly, if there's nothing else, sit closer to where your microphone is, and then probably we will hear you better. And many of you have already written your names on the screen written where you're from next to your name on the screen. That's great. That's helpful, because I'm going to call out in a few minutes 2 or 3 countries or states. And if I call your name, I'm going to ask you to just play for a few seconds, however long you like. And then other people in that area will join you too. Some countries we will have solos, maybe. Some countries we might have a whole bunch of people. Let's see. So, has everybody got a rough idea of what we're doing? Clear as mud?
John, you have more countries in the chat.
More countries.
3 more countries.
Who are we adding? Serbia. Wow. That's good. Poland. Wonderful. Dzień dobry. And Georgia. Yes.
And Nepal.
And Nepal. Yes, of course. Yes, we've got everyone from Pokhara to Kirtipur. Wonderful. Okay.
Italy.
Italy. Yes. I think I said Italy earlier, but let's say Italy again. We love Italy. Anyone else I'm missing? Okay. So I can see some of you practicing away really well on your instruments. That's wonderful. So I'm going to call two categories, two countries. So let's start with Bulgaria and Argentina. If you're from those countries, just get your instruments going and let's hear from you. And the rest of us will stay muted. Let's unmute and give them a round of applause. This is their new work. A new symphony from Bulgaria and Argentina. So now we have Kenya and Nepal. Let's hear from those two countries. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, thank you. So different. Let's give them a round of applause too. Italy and Ukraine. Let's hear from you. Can we hear them?
No?
Can't hear you, Alessandra. Yeah. Do we have any Ukrainians still with us?
Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe they've gone. Okay. Let's have Portugal and UK. Lovely. Okay. And we can add voices as well. Voices are instruments too.
Did you mean Brazil by any chance?
I didn't then, but
Oh, okay. Yep, sorry. I wanted to
but
make
they're
sure.
up next. So we're
Okay.
gonna have Brazil and Sri Lanka. Is Sri Lanka is still with us? Yes. Wonderful. Thank you. It sounds like a movie with the horses coming over the horizon. Okay, so we're gonna have the whole of the US. And who have we not done? Georgia. Can we have US, Georgia, and Poland?
Nasz czas.
Wow, this is catchy. I think you're going to sell millions. Wonderful. Wow. There's always the question is, how do we know when the music finishes? I think the music knows when it's done. So everybody who's not played so far, it's your turn. It's free for all, Liberty Hall. Let's hear you all together now, those who've not played. And now let's invite all of those of you who have played to join in. This is going to be crazy. Let's hear. Lovely. That one's coming out on Warner Brothers, I think, in about 6 months' time. If we all save up, we can buy the disc. The next thing is rather different, and we're going to use voices. And this is something you can do either sitting down or standing up. It's really up to you. And it's a singing exercise called Sustain, which some of you may know. And I should say, for those of you who are thinking, singing, really, there are no wrong notes or wrong sounds in our singing, just as there is no wrong note or wrong sound when we're playing music. Everything is just fine. And you can do this exercise with your eyes closed, or if you want to switch off the camera for a little bit, you can do that too. But please don't mute yourself and don't leave the call. Not yet. So in a minute, I'm going to invite us to take a few deeper breaths. We're going to breathe in and breathe out. And when it comes to the third out breath, we're going to breathe out into a note. It might be a high note. That's about as high as I can do now. Or a low note. It really doesn't matter. And if you don't like the note that you're breathing out into, you can change it. Or you could swoop and go, oh. It's really whatever you like. When you run out of breath, please don't fall over, because Karen isn't insured for this. So
That's
when you
true.
run out of breath, just take a pause, wait, and just listen to the sounds coming all around you from everybody else. And then when you're ready, join in again, maybe with that sound or a different sound. You know, I think it's too many words. Let's try it and let's see. So we start with breathing in and breathing out. Yeah. And breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in again. And when we breathe out this time, we're going to breathe out into a note of our choice.
Amazing.
What was that like?
Fun.
Fun, very fun,
Yes.
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah. And all we need is us.
Yeah.
Going to do one more quick thing before we finish. And before we finish this thing. And that is actually links with what Seema was doing earlier, which was to come back to the idea of a rainstorm. We're out in the rain. If we remember how rain starts, very, very quietly sometimes, we're just going to tap our fingers and make a little tapping sound, or maybe something you're holding that you can tap very gently. And you can have your eyes open or closed, but just imagine that downpour Seema was talking about, when suddenly the rain comes and we're right in the middle of it, and there's nowhere to go but just be in the rain. So add those sounds. And any other sounds that you hear in this rainstorm. Yeah. And you can't get home just yet. You just got to be in the storm. And then slowly, slowly the rain and the thunder or whatever was around where you were listening starts to die away. And we come back to that pitter-patter. Few raindrops. That's it. Maybe the sun's going to come out in a minute. Maybe it's going to warm us, dry us all off. And we're going to breathe in the fresh air and say, thank you for the rain. Because you clear the air and make everything fresh again.
Dobra.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
So appreciate how you make, like Violet would say this, as you said, there's no such thing as a wrong note.
Yeah.
And a lot of us maybe think, yes, there is, and I'm the one that makes the wrong notes. And so I'm going to be inhibited about expressing myself with any music, much less our voice. And you make it fun and playful and accessible, and it's lovely.
I asked Violet once about this business of no wrong notes.
Yes.
And she said to me, in a kind of shrewd way that she does, she says, look, there's a painting on the wall. You wouldn't tell the painter there that's the wrong color for the ocean. It's the way she sees it.
Yes.
That's the ocean. And it's the same, I think, with sound. No wrong notes in this context.